My name is Sonia Shield. I'm the unit chair of the Legal Services Staff Association. It's UAW 2320. We're a part of the National Organization of Legal Services Workers. So at Legal Services Staff Association, we represent two nonprofits here in the city that provide free legal services to people that are low income. Nobody wants to go on strike. It's really the last option, and we were forced to do that. We had been negotiating. Management and the union were very, very far apart in what they were demanding and what we were willing to give up. They were asking for really extreme healthcare concessions, and we thought long and hard about it, but by the time we got the final contract offer, it was very clear, and we voted almost 100% that we had no choice but to go out on strike. So we were out for 6 weeks, 40 days, and we really benefited from having the backing of the UAW. We had other folks from other UAW locals out there on the picket lines with us. That was really inspiring. It really helped build up our morale and helped keep us out there every day to have people from Legal Aid and from just UAW locals all across the city there on the picket lines with us and making phone calls with us. And then when Legal Services cut off our health care without any notice, it was a terrible surprise, especially for the people who had things like their chemotherapy treatment interrupted without any kind of warning. The UAW had people fly out to New York City from Detroit the very next day, enroll us in healthcare through the UAW so that people could get back on their treatment, be able to fill their prescriptions. So they were there for us when our management did a really, really terrible thing. And we still really remember that today. So after being out on strike for 6 weeks, we kept negotiating, we stayed at the bargaining table, and we were able to push back on a lot of the demands that management had made initially and show through our solidarity and through the support of the UAW and the other UAW locals here in the city that we weren't going to get pushed around, and we were able to get a much, much better contract that seemed much fairer to both sides, and we were able to go back to work after 6 weeks with a much better contract. Well, being in a union means that you get a seat at the table, and you can't have changes just forced down your throat unilaterally. I've worked at places that were not union, and if the management wanted to change our health care and increase our co-pays from $20 to $40 or even more than that, you don't have any say in that. They say, here's the changes that we're going to make, and you might not be happy about it, but you can't really make them change that. When you're in a union, management has to sit down with you and bargain over those kind of changes, and you have the right to look at the books and see whether the finances support what they're asking for or not, and sit at the table with management and figure out something that's fair to both sides, and you get a say.